Everybody, I am Christy Dirge with the Safety Council of Southwestern Ohio, and most of you on here know about us and what we do. We have monthly safety meetings to try to help our members and visitors to our meetings reduce their injury and illness in the workplace. Just to remind you that this is being recorded. All participants are on mute. You can use the chat button, and Ben will be monitoring that. We have 2 door prizes today. I will pick a name from all the attendees, and Ed DeBrosi, who's also one of our board members and also owns DeBrosi Insurance, he's sponsoring. So we got a $25 Bob Evans and a $25 Panera Bread. Ooh, where you at? Soup and how come you're not showing up? Oh, there it is. All right. So doesn't a hot bowl of soup sound good today? It does to me. So I will let Ben make any announcements, and then I will introduce our speaker for today.
Okay, well,
Facebook Live, here we go. You do that, and I will get us going on Facebook.
Okay, well, thank you, Christy, and welcome to everyone. There's not a lot of things going on with the Bureau right now because we're getting ready for the holidays, but I wanted to let everyone know that the podcast that you are normally doing weekly, we will be doing those again in January, but you still will be able to, and they will still be posted on a weekly basis, but they will be recorded ones. So any of the past podcasts that we've done, you'll be able to log into and be able to attend those. They're 1-hour podcasts, so they're pretty easy to do. Our training center is starting to look at our quarterly for 21. We started to post classes. Last week, we did an accident analysis class. It was a half-day class, and it seemed to go over pretty well. We will be offering classes like accident analysis, machine guarding. I think there is an electrical class that's a 5-day class. We will be offering things like emergency preparedness and so on, but look for those to come out. It's actually on our website, so all our training center will be starting again after the holidays. We're kind of on a hiatus right now. Also look for your second shipment of the mask that BWC is sending out to the employers. That should be coming either this month or early next month. So you'll be getting a shipment of masks and continue to follow the COVID procedures. So with that, I want to say happy Thanksgiving, and I'll turn it back over to Christy.
All right. Well, it is my pleasure to introduce one of our co-workers here. Carol Lucio was born and raised in Hamilton, and she knows everybody, trust me. Went to Baden High School and Miami University. She's been with us over 2 years now, but her former life was at Junior Achievement, where she spent educating young people about entrepreneurship, personal finance and work readiness. And for the Safety Council, she is our traffic safety guru, and she coordinates our Butler County Safe Communities program. So she has, she is our safety, I don't know what, she gets on us. If we don't say the word accident, because she will yell at you, it's crash. So, yeah, so anyhow, but she knows her stuff, and we all enjoy working with her. So hopefully I think you will learn something. Remember to do the any questions in the chat. I'm going to mute myself, and you can go ahead and share your screen. And Carol, you have the floor.
All right. Well, thank you, Christy. I really enjoy working with the Safety Council and with the team there, and it's been my honor to come in this role on traffic safety education. So
hey, you're breaking up a little bit, just to let you know.
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I know I was hearing Ben break up just a little bit, so I don't know if it's any better, or am I okay? Give me thumbs up. I'm good. Okay, great. All right, so we're going to look at traffic safety citizenship and why this is important to everyone. So why is this important to me as an individual or as a business organization? And hopefully I'm going to answer those questions for you as we go through here. Okay, I'm seeing the chat, but all right, let's see.
Ben will take care of the chat.
Okay, all right, so why is this important to me? So we're going to look at traffic safety citizenship from the 4 E's standpoint: engineering, education, enforcement, and emergency services. I'm not really going to touch on emergency services today. We all know what that is. It doesn't really need a lot of explanation, obviously, but I will take this moment to say thank you to those that are in emergency services and on the front lines right now, dealing with all they're dealing with.
You are breaking up a little bit. I don't know if what you're doing differently, but sometimes it's really clear. I don't know if you're leaning in or out or what.
I'll try leaning in and see if that helps.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so let's look at this. When there's a crash, you pay for the crash, right? When you're involved in that crash, you pay, whether it's for your car to be automobile to be fixed, repaired, insurance, deductibles, whatever it might be. You might have time off work, right? But when anyone is in a crash, we all pay. And we all pay through a number of things, whether that be from our taxes going to help pay for police, fire, whatever that might be. But one thing people don't think about is that lost productivity. So you have a coworker who's in a crash, you have to step up and cover that. So that is a dramatic impact on businesses. So that's one of the things a lot of people don't think about. The average cost per fatal crash is more than 1.7 million in the state of Ohio and 96,000 for a daily crash in the state of Ohio. In the last 5 years, we have had what has added up to more than 20 million in expenses just for fatal crashes. Actually, that was just in 2018, 28 million. So I'm going to just touch on a few stats here. So in 2018, we had almost 8,800 crashes. Of those, 20 were fatal, almost 200 incapacitating. 30 lives were lost in those 28 fatal crashes. 11 of those were youth, and 13 involved drugs or alcohol. In 2019, we did a little bit better. We only had 8,300 crashes, 19 of which were fatal, and 170 of which were incapacitated. But we still lost a good number of youth. And what I want to point out is that 6 of those were motorcyclists. In the prior year, 5 were motorcyclists. In the last 2 years alone, we've lost 11 people to motorcycle crashes. 86% of our crashes in 2019 were male. So that's definitely an audience that we want to make sure that we're reaching in regard to traffic safety. So here's something else that anyone can access. It's on the state of Ohio State Highway Patrol website, is crash statistics. You can do it by the whole state or by county. This is specifically, of course, Butler County. This is looking just from the beginning of 2019 to the end. This shows you that almost 8,300 crashes we just talked about. What I want to point out here is that of all the crashes that happened in 2019, almost 40% happened in the drive hours, Monday through Friday. So that's from 7 to 8 a.m. and from 3 to 7 p.m. in the afternoon, Monday through Friday. That's one of the reasons why we want to talk to businesses about this, because it's affecting employees on their way to and on their way home from work. So traffic safety citizenship. Our goal really is to move towards 0 deaths. A very difficult goal to have, but certainly one we're working toward, because 1 death is 1 death too many as far as we're concerned. So I'm going to go into one of the E's. Hopefully I set the stage for part of why this is an important thing. But let's look at engineering, that first E on our circle here. So I don't know if everyone knows, but we have a lot of roundabouts in Butler County. And one of the reasons is that roundabouts slow and calm traffic. They reduce conflict points. And the numbers from the Butler County Engineer's Office actually have shown a 100% reduction in fatal crashes by installing roundabouts. This is why you see so many in our county. In fact, our 19th roundabout is being completed here in 2020 in the county. There are several more in the planning stages. Particularly one of interest, I'm sure, to the group is the one going in at State Route 73 in Jacksonburg Road. Although that one is not being installed by the Butler County Engineer's Office, that is an ODOT project. The remaining, though, are all Butler County Engineers projects. So that's the list of upcoming ones through 2022. I have no doubt that they will be looking at more safety for our county, such as the diverging diamond interchange that's now at Union Center and 75. Many of you may or may not be familiar with that. But we have an incredible engineer's office that is always looking for ways to make our roads safer. So from that E standpoint, that engineering, we are very fortunate that we have a great team at the engineer's office, really working to make things better, safer in our county. All right, so we're gonna shift now to another E. I'm gonna jump education for a moment and go to enforcement. So I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on the enforcement aspect, but there are some things I'd like to point out. And this is directly from the CDC's website, that if you were to look at motor vehicle injury prevention strategies and select the state of Ohio, you could see some things that we already have in place, like sobriety checkpoints. The Butler County OVI Task Force does that, and they do a really great job of bringing awareness out there. We have automated speed cameras and automated red light cameras. Not a lot of those in our area, but they are in the state. But some strategies that could be used that we're not using, and part of the reason I bring these up is these are some things that if you have interaction with any of our state legislators, to bring this up, that stronger seatbelt enforcement campaigns could be, and not campaigns, but fines would be beneficial. Seatbelt enforcement campaigns is something we all can be doing, and we're going to come to that later. There are 2 specific bills that are out there. Ohio House Bill 293, which is for new drivers, that would increase the amount of time that a new driver would need to have their permit to a year instead of 6 months. Allow them to go through all 4 seasons and get lots of experience behind the wheel. And then Ohio House Bill 95 on distractions. Certainly making people more aware of and having stiffer penalties for use of anything, specifically electronic devices, could really benefit us in the state of Ohio. So those are 2 things on enforcement. So why is this important? Well, if you look at the cost, let's look at the bottom line. Let's be frank, that's what really drives a lot, is that the cost of unintentional injuries in our country are huge. In 2018 alone, it cost $445 billion to deal with traffic crashes. So that's equivalent to 590 gallons of gas for every registered vehicle on the road, or $2,000 for every licensed driver. That's a lot of money. So the more we can do to bring those costs down, the better benefit it's going to be for all of us. All right, now we're going to go to the education piece, and that's really where we come in with the Safety Council and our grant, Butler County Safe Communities. So when you think of traffic safety education in Butler County, we hope that you think Butler County Safe Communities. And that's why our logo is over the education circle. I'm just going to touch on a few things that we have done, some of our efforts. We were one of only 20 grantees in the nation, one of only 2 in Ohio, to receive funding for a program called Project Ignition to work with high schools in our area. We are strategically partnering with Butler Tech to help us spread the word beyond just their doors to all the schools in the county about youth driver safety education awareness. We did a great last year, 2019. Obviously 2020 has been a little bit of a unique challenge, but we did a drive sober event, get high, a safer way to get high, in partnership with iFly, and they flew some of our local police officers in their wind tunnel as part of our awareness campaign. And then we have a lot of partnerships that we've increased in our county. We've increased our media coverage. This was in 2019 alone. In 2020, we've had 3 television stories. And if you haven't done so already, you aren't already doing it, please like our Facebook page. We do post stuff out there. Our most popular seem to be our Friday funnies, so you don't want to miss those. We would love to have you following us on Facebook. So a couple new things we brought to the area. The Tire Wreck Street Survival Program is a wonderful nonprofit that provides an intensive 1-day hands-on experience behind the wheel for 16 to 21-year-old drivers. They have a coach sit with them in their own automobile, and they do obstacle course, an obstacle course with various things to help them learn skid control and their braking system. They have them go really fast and brake and help them understand how their vehicle functions so that they can be better drivers. I've watched a lot of young drivers go from apprehensive at the beginning of the day to very confident by the end. And it's been a wonderful program we've been partnering on and are hoping to bring it back next spring if things subside a little bit. We've also gotten some additional funding support, like that grant from the National Youth Leadership Conference. And we've helped to bring about the Safety Scoop. Hopefully you all get it and read it. Hint, hint, one just went out yesterday. Please make sure that you look at the resources and the information that we provide in the Scoop. And then we make presentations like this one, not just to the Safety Council, but we've done Rotary and Kiwanis and Citizen Police Academy groups. We do high school and college groups. We'd love to be able to start coming into businesses and making presentations there as well. So that brings me to what some of our goals were for 2021. And again, obviously, 2020 has been a little challenging, but certainly for 2021, we want to continue to focus on a couple of things. The big focus being to start a corporate traffic safety program for companies to use. So we really want to partner with organizations, because if you remember, our highest crash incidence rates happen in the morning rush hour and the afternoon hours. And that's why we want to be reaching employers, employees with our traffic safety messages. We are also trying to bring a reduced teen crashes program, which is a teen traffic safety award program, to Butler County. So that requires funding. So if anyone's so inclined and would be interested in helping to fund that, we sure would love that support as well. But we are also going after new resources for funding of that. And we just submitted a grant last Friday that's hoping to bring us a good chunk of money toward that program. So back to the corporate traffic safety program. This is not something new. I know this is something that BWC is focusing on as well. And they have some great resources also where they could bring folks to your company, do a lunch and learn. We also can do the same kind of thing, whether it be in person or virtual. Obviously, safely, we want to do that. But we can also help provide resources. So one of those resources that has been developed in conjunction with NHTSA and NETS, the Network of Employers for Traffic Safety, and this is available online. I can also send it to anyone that might be interested, is the guidelines for employers to reduce motor vehicle crashes. So I want to make sure that I touch on that this is not specifically geared toward fleet services. It's great if you have fleet, that's wonderful, they need this, but this really is designed to be for every employer and for every employee to get the traffic safety message. So those statistics that you saw were not about fleet, those are about crashes, period, in our county. So they've got some great things in here. One of the things that's in here is really how do I go about making something happen. So it gives you this 10-step outline of what things you could do. But something super simple that everyone could start with is what you see in the bottom right-hand corner. And that is the 2 seconds to click campaign. It's really a simple, proven to be successful employee-wide seatbelt use campaign. Again, available online. You can go to 2secondstoclick.org and find that information. It's designed to be a 6-week program, although certainly could be altered if you needed it to be. Low cost, easy to implement, minimal administrative time, because let's face it, we don't want to put anything more on your plates, really. But this could be highly impactful for your employees. And we really want to emphasize how easy and cost effective this truly is for you to utilize. So this is something that we would love to assist with. If you need assistance, we can help get information for you or provide resources for you. And we can go beyond this as well, whether it be seatbelt use or certainly distracted driving. That is another thing that we spend a lot of time focusing on. We have a great presentation that we can utilize that is not like this one, just all facts and talking. We utilize videos and interaction. We even have some games that we can play that make it interesting and informative, as well as engaging for your employees. So I'm hoping that I have answered the traffic safety citizenship. Why is this important to me as an individual or as a business, an organization? So there are some ways you can get involved. As I mentioned before, like us on Facebook, we do have a coalition that meets quarterly that we would welcome if anyone is interested in joining. We would love to have you. It is a mix of business people, law enforcement, first responders, hospitals, anybody that has an interest in traffic safety that's a part of that. Link us to events. We have attended DeCunix Health and Safety Fair in the past, and that has gone over very well. We bring an engaging activity to that, so we would love to be invited to any events where we could talk about traffic safety. Again, invite us to present, whether it be in conjunction with someone from BWC or separately, we can do that. And spread the word. Please spread the word to people how important it is to use their seatbelts, to buckle up and put their phones down. Our ups and downs of safe driving that we focus on a daily basis. You can reach me at any time. My cell phone usually is the best way, simply because I'm either out and about or sometimes working from home and not always in the office at the Safety Council. So my cell phone number is the best way to get a hold of me. Or like Christy's email, you can reach me by email. Same email, just with Carol at the front instead of Christy. So I do want to see if I can get over to this video. This may take me a minute, but while I get this set up, I would love to open up for any questions.
I was just gonna, and I figured out why you were kind of going in and out. It's when I had mine on mute. It was because we're sharing the Zoom. It was making her all staticky. So kept hoping I didn't have to cough or sneeze, and because mine wasn't on mute. And just a reminder, we have used the Safe Community Meetings like before when you guys had to get your 10 meetings in, and sometimes you needed to, make sure you got your 10. We have used this Butler County Safe Communities. You could attend that as one of your 10 meetings for Safety Council. So some of you have been to some of those, I think. Is it working? You have to share the screen again, I think.
Okay, all right, I will share again here. Hold on.
Oh, and while we were on this call, I got a little message that one of my youngest's teammate tested positive, so he might be quarantined. This school year's been fun, as I'm sure many of you have experienced.
Okay, here we go. You see that screen?
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right.
Another thing that Carol and I do through the Safe Communities is every quarter we look at all the fatal crash reports to determine if it's, engineering improvements could be made. Was it the weather? And I would say 99.9% time it's human error, and they could have been avoided. Either impairment, distraction, but unfortunately a lot of times it's the person that ends up getting killed is not always and not usually the one at fault. So you got to wonder, were they paying attention? Did they see it? Could have been avoided? That's why you have to pay attention 100% of the time to avoid all the bad drivers.
We do have a lot of great resources. I will say, since we've gone so fast through this presentation, many times I only have 20, maybe 30 minutes to present. So I have pared down our presentation to make sure that that can fit in that time frame. But if you haven't gone to the Safety Council's new website and checked out all the resources that we have there, I would encourage you to do that. We've spent hours pulling together information, and if you want to put together a traffic safety program, would you like me to share that, Christy? Okay, I'll grab it. So we have some great resources out there on traffic safety specifically, since we're talking about that, but we've got a lot of great info. So Butler County Safe Communities, I'm gonna share this in just a second as I'm pulling it up. Ben, did we have any questions? I didn't see any out there.
No, I didn't see any, Carol. I'm glad you mentioned BWC because they're doing a lot of outreach right now.
Yes.
We were doing it before the lockdown, obviously, but they've been offering classes also on employers to be able to do fleet and, any kind of safety for, drivers. So a lot of the 10-step program, I think that's great. And I think that some of the things so we could basically work in coordination with you, Carol, obviously. And I don't know if you've done that in the past, but there are some resources like Joe Kale up in Dayton, who's been heading up this project.
Yes, we've been in discussion with Joe about that, certainly. And again, it's just about us helping to make sure that we make our roads safer. So part of the reason why BWC has gotten involved in this topic is because it's becoming more and more of an issue for employers, that people are on the clock having crashes. Obviously, that's an issue. But even just the to and from work, it's a real concern. So there's a reason why there's more than one organization talking about this. So on our website, you can see we've got a number of different resources out there. So you can see information on our coalition and statistics, and that information that I shared, we have a direct link there that you can go out and see what those statistics are. But we have various topic areas that we have pulled together a lot of resources on, like teens and new drivers. I'm so sorry. Okay. Teens and new drivers, distracted driving, pedestrians, seatbelts, mature drivers, impaired driving, and other safety focus areas, things like making sure your tires are properly inflated and that kind of stuff you'd find it under the other safety focus areas. So I'm going to click on just one here, our distracted driving one, and it takes you out to the page that we have talking about our focus of keeping your eyes on the road, your mind on driving, your hands on the wheel, and then some specific statistics. Say that 5 times real fast. Specific statistics as it relates to Butler County. And then a number of videos that we share, as well as other resources that can give you all kinds of valuable information if you are inclined to share this and you're not able to bring us in or don't want to bring us in. Again, we can do whatever is necessary to spread this message, but that's why we provided this information. What are different distractions? All kinds of resources here. So one of my favorite things is to tell people to get their head out of their apps. So get your head out of your apps. But since we have the time, I'm going to go ahead and click on one of the videos here that we utilize when we do our lunch and learns or our presentation to high school students or to any groups. We share this video. So I am going to, are you seeing that screen come up? Okay, good. I wanted to make sure that because I'm sharing.
You might want to turn the volume up.
Okay. It's all the way up.
Sometimes our mind wanders, and when we snap back to reality, we have no idea what we missed or how long we were gone. Daydreaming isn't the only thing that causes this inattention blindness. When we talk on the phone while driving, there are periods when we go blind to our environment without realizing it. So billboards, cars, kids playing, even stop signs and red lights can pass us by unnoticed. Certain things may seem harmless, but some activities just aren't safe to combine. Our brain is not wired to pay attention to more than one complex task at a time. What we're actually doing when we think we're multitasking is quickly shifting our focus from one activity to another. So while our mind is engaged in applying makeup, arguing with backseat drivers, fumbling for a water bottle, or a conversation that's blind to the road. In fact, drivers are 4 times more likely to crash while talking on the phone, and 23 times more likely while texting. Driving can feel uneventful, but it really takes our full attention to keep the car on the road. We're surrounded by distractions that can hijack our focus. Whether we let them is up to us.
So that's one of the many resources that we have out there that we have shared. There are many people that will say, well, I use hands-free, but I will challenge you that that is a cognitive distraction, and takes your mind someplace else besides on the road. It takes you to your conversation. So I would challenge you not to even use hands-free when you're driving, when at all possible. Other little things that we talk about is how 10 and 2 is not the proper positioning for your hands any longer on the wheel. This is something especially important when we talk to mature drivers, that they were taught, as many of us were, 10 and 2 is where you place your hands. But with airbags now, that is a really bad place to put your hands, because if an airbag deploys and as fast as it does, there can be a lot of injuries, including broken wrists and forearms, where 9 and 3 is the recommendation now, or even to have your hands just a little below 9 and 3. So lots of information that we can share and can tailor it depending upon the audience that we are speaking to. So that's what we wanted to share today. I know it went super fast, and maybe nobody's sad about that because you can get back to other things. Anything else you'd like to add, Christy?
No, I say good job, and we'll send some of those resource links out when I announce the winners, today's lucky winners of the gift cards. And I want to thank everybody for coming and wish you all a very safe and healthy and happy Thanksgiving.
Don't forget to buckle up if you're traveling.
Yeah, always, and pay attention more, better yet. Because it is very distracting times we are in, but you have to focus while you're driving. So that is it. Ben?
Again, nobody sent any questions in, but there's some interesting things that that I thought were very informative, especially the one about the roundabout where I live. So that's going to be pretty interesting.
They are much safer, roundabouts.
Even though they're not very popular,
Yeah.
there is a reason for them, a documented reason that they do reduce fatal and severe crashes at those intersections. So,
Yes.
all right, that's it. This is
Thank you very
Safety
much.
Council of Southwestern Ohio signing off.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Take care.
Bye.